Hey, what's up guys, it's MugenLord here, and yes, today we're going to talk about Marvel. What about Marvel? Well, apparently, we're getting some Marvel vs. Capcom content. And what do I mean by that? Well, apparently, we'll be getting a Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate Collection that's coming to all platforms, including the PC itself. Kind of similar to how we got the Capcom Collection, which I also have done a review on about, what, a year or two ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. You need to go check that out if you're interested in that, so you can have an idea of where they're going to go with this approach with the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because this is actually a big deal. And I'm going to go through a little bit of why this is a big deal. So before we even dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So okay, we're going to dive into it. Now, where did this news come from? Well, if you guys don't know, today there was a Nintendo Direct, which I will be doing a video on to talk about a lot of games that I definitely want to cover, more specifically JRPGs. But we'll get to that in the next couple of days, because I want to stretch this content out because there's a lot of content to cover and everything. But we're going to focus on Marvel vs. Capcom Collection because it was announced during the Nintendo Direct that happened, or by the time you see this video, yesterday morning or whatever. But this caught everybody by surprise, and it definitely caught me by surprise because I didn't see this coming, and a lot of people didn't see this coming. So what does this mean for Marvel vs. Capcom? Because there's a lot of us, since like the last time we have gotten a collection or HD remaster, and that was back during the Xbox 360 and PS3 era. People wanted to know, will we ever see another collection ever again? I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite didn't do too well, so people thought the writings was on the wall for the series as in general because it really sucked. It really did bad, and they thought it was pretty much the end. That it was going to tarnish the relationship between Capcom and Marvel, but apparently it hasn't. It's because now we have this collection. So what is inside this collection before we actually get into my personal opinion of why this is a big deal? Well, apparently in this collection, you can expect a lot of things as far as, I guess you could say, quality of life changes and everything. But more importantly, the thing that really gets everybody is the fact is that, yes, you'll be able to play online. Now, there was no information whether or not it was crossplay, which I doubt is crossplay because I believe the Capcom Collection didn't have crossplay either. But for the simple fact is that this game is going to have online play, and that's right. The big question is, does it have rollback netcode? Yes. It has rollback netcode. So it's kind of like really funny that now that it's no longer relegated to Fightcade if you wanted to play the Versus series. Now we actually have a licensed versions that we'll be able to play on consoles and other platforms, and now it has rollback netcode. So now you'll be able to get the best online experience as possible, and I can imagine a lot of the FGC is extremely happy. And can you imagine what this is going to do for Marvel vs. Capcom series in general within the FGC and within the mainstream media and the mainstream gaming experience? That now it's more exposure. Like I said before, Marvel is a lot popular than what it was a long time ago, where it was only relegated to nerd culture and the niche groups that these comic books and these comic book characters have. But Marvel has become a bigger brand now because the MCU, despite how bad the MCU is today, but MCU has been responsible for the popularity of Marvel to a much wider and, I guess you say, more modern audience. So it makes sense for them to be able to capitalize on this. But also, people were asking, okay, since we have this collection or whatever like that, this is, of course, an emulator, or so what ROMs are they using? So Mark Julio himself, Markman, he had pretty much gave everybody what to expect. And the thing that has people really excited the most is the fact is that Marvel vs. Capcom 2, more specifically, it's going to be in this collection, which everybody has as their favorite Marvel vs. Capcom game. But the thing about this is, it actually has a training mode. All the games, or I would say, I guess Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I think all the games will. It has a training mode. Yes, you'll be able to use training mode, and it added hitbox detection and hurtbox detection, so you'll be able to see the hitbox and the hurtboxes of all the characters during the training mode. So it'll be a lot easier for a lot of people to jump into the game and actually lab the game up. So when you go into the online lobbies, yes, there's online lobbies as well, so you can be able to casually play with your friends, or if you want to be competitive and be able to play with, you know, a lot of the hardcore fiends that's out there that play this game competitively, you can definitely do that as well. But I think this is definitely a big change, or something that people didn't even see coming. So a training mode, and you could be able to see hitboxes and hurt boxes. This changed the whole entire game when it comes to remastering these beloved versus games, and I think that's pretty cool. Now, as far as the ROMs are concerned, they also show what ROMs for each version that they would have in the game. But for starters, what games that are included in it. Of course, X-Men Children of the Atoms, Marvel Superheroes, then X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and of course, Marvel vs. Capcom, and then Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then you have the arcade beat 'em up of the Punisher. That's all included in this package. So you got a whole deal. And then of course, ROM versions, which is you have the Japanese version of X-Men Children of Atom ROM, which is 9500105, and then the US 9500105, and it has a whole list of the different ROMs that people are familiar with, for those who actually play on emulators or who actually play on the Fightcade. So you already know what you're dealing with, especially if you're used to playing online in Fightcade or playing on emulators, when it comes to actually enjoying these games more in a competitive sense. And I think that's pretty cool. So now let's talk about what I really want to talk about, because this is a big conversation that people are actually having right now, is because everybody's celebrating. Everybody's extremely happy. You even got Justin Wong. I mean, he's super happy and everything like that. But what everybody is pretty much saying is that we did it. And I was always wondering, what do you mean that we did it? What's going on? What part did I play in this? When everybody keeps saying that we did it as gamers for Marvel vs. Capcom. And then it took me back, because Maximilian, everybody's passing around Maximilian's video. And that's what it hit me. It struck me right there when people say we did it. Is because if you don't know, Maximilian had this hashtag going on at the time, was called Free Marvel vs. Capcom, I believe. Hashtag Free Marvel vs. Capcom. So the question is that I have is that, did we really free Marvel vs. Capcom? Like trying to show Marvel that, hey, in Capcom, that, hey, we really want these games. We really want these games to be remastered, brought back, or even a new game within the Marvel vs. Capcom series. So everybody is, you know, patting each other on the back, and everybody is thanking Maximilian for this. And there's no shade against Maximilian. I love Maximilian's content. Really cool content creator. But the question is, did we really save Marvel vs. Capcom? Did the hashtag Free Marvel vs. Capcom had something to do with this collection? And the reason why I say this is because how long does it take for these deals to actually go on? We don't know how these deals go on behind the scenes. A lot of talks and discussion. And another thing that raises the question is the fact is that, if you guys don't know, Marvel, more specifically, Disney has always been saying for the past couple years now, you can find plenty of articles. I'll post an article because they just mentioned it recently again, that they're trying their damnedest to get back into the gaming space again by licensing out their characters, their IPs, their properties, and everything. And of course, Marvel's is under the Disney umbrella, so they want to get that Marvel property out there. We just recently saw an Overwatch-esque Marvel game that's a hero shooter, a team-based hero shooter featuring Marvel characters, which I covered on this channel. So this is something that they were licensing out to other companies. So did we actually really do that? I mean, it really makes sense if we have them with this new ambitious approach to gaming, and they're also trying to work deals out with Epic Games as well, with Fortnite, and also with their theme parks and everything. So this is something that they've been planning for quite some time. So I also say that, did Maximilian's hashtag Free Marvel actually did anything? I also say this too is because I also back here, you see my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade 1-up machine. Did we have something to do with that? Because this was also in the works as well. And in fact, this collection that we have releasing, my cabinet already had these games. And if you are interested in this cabinet and wanting to know more details and information and how I assembled it and modded it and everything, you can also check that out on my channel as well. But back to what I was saying, did we actually free it? Because during the time that this was going on, this deal happened. And the reason why I say that this is very, very, very important is also for the fact is that this is really hard to get Marvel to sign off on anything. Like, Marvel's a bitch to work with when it comes to the Marvel vs. Capcom series, or when it comes to their IPs in general. So for the simple fact is that we now do have a new re-release, and I guess you would say a remastered edition with this collection. What is going on behind the scenes? Could this lead to a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4, which is something that we also talked about here on this channel? There's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of potential when it comes to the future of Marvel vs. Capcom, but we definitely have to wait and see, you know, for a fact is like, okay, like what the future hold moving forward. And if Disney is serious about, you know, approaching gaming, then I think they should cater to the gamers, especially when it comes to the FGC. Give the fans what they want. Give them the characters that they want. Bring back the classic characters that made the Marvel series or the Versus series the popular and what it is, you know, to this very day. Bring them all back, and then you can also throw in your MCU characters if you want to, but bring back the classics. That's something that we want, and that's something that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had failed to do. But that pretty much wraps up this video. Did we really save Marvel vs. Capcom? Did we really free it? Or was this something that they were already planning because they want that money? They're trying to hit that gaming market once again by putting out their IPs and licensing it out to other companies. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you gaming fiends later. Peace out.